Hey, Rolling 20 fans, this is G, and I'm here to tell you today about a new sponsor for our show, Casey's Irish Pub. This is an honest-to-God Boston or Chicago-style Irish pub located in downtown Los Angeles. They serve cooked food, 11 kinds of beer, and 49 different Irish whiskeys from 3 different distilleries. What does that mean? That means if you're looking for a good drink during a Los Angeles convention, you don't have to go far. If you're headed to Los Angeles for E3, Kamikaze, Anime Expo, the Los Angeles Car Show, or one of the hundreds of events happening near the Staples Center, then a good meal and a glass of Guinness is just a short walk away. Jeremy, the loud guy who won't shut up when we do our own podcast, he actually ate there during the last Anime Expo, and he said this. Forgive me if I don't sound like the guy. I went to Casey's Pub looking for a place to bring people for a good night of food and found it when I was driving people on my way back to the Los Angeles Convention Center. We went back and I had the best steak pot pie in my life down there. My wife had a good whiskey to sip, and 8 of us had fun talking and eating in a place that looked like it belonged in a movie. Casey's just a couple of blocks from the Westin Bonaventure. That means it's close to one of Anime Expo's own shuttle stops. We're even hosting a photo shoot there during the 2014 Anime Expo. If you want more details on that, email us at mspfreight@yahoo.com. Hey, so do yourself a favor. And don't stock up on bad beer and try to mix something sitting at the desk of your hotel room. Ride the elevator, get off at the Bonaventure, and walk to Casey's Irish Pub to get some drinks by their bartenders. Make some new memories and have some fun. We want to see you there.
This is Anthony Beyond from Mission Start Podcast, and I think this time I'll take over for this episode of the Conover, or 120s, or whatever it's going to be. Anyways.
Maybe Conover Special Edition. Conover Pay-Per-View.
Yes.
Conover Battle Royal.
Yes. Well, tonight we have a very special guest tonight joining us for tonight's podcast.
You hear that? They called me special.
Well, y'all shut up, because this is the Lashada show now, huh? I'm going to take over, but y'all can talk.
Tonight we have the owners and the few people running Cosplay Wrestling Federation, Miss Decree, being polite, with her assistant, Mr. Hiki.
Yeah, hi, pleasure to meet you. It's a very huge honor for me to yeah.
Keep talking, Lloyd. Keep talking.
It's an honor for us to be here. I'm sure Miss Lashada feels the same way.
Yeah. You shut up right now. Okay, I'm doing wonderful, fabulous.
Also, I forgot to mention, Jeremy is also with us tonight for the podcast as well.
Oh, fine. Leave the Negro at the back of the bus. Let's see how this goes.
Anyway, so, lady and gentlemen, the latest event at Fanime ended recently, and we heard that the winner, Dio, was killed by the JoJo family, and the belt is now up for grabs. Is that correct?
Oh, what is up with that, dog?
Okay,
what happened?
so
What is that?
well, you see, Mr. Brondo had an unfortunate end. That's what happens when you do bad stuff in Egypt. But fortunately for us, the Speedwagon Foundation, the very generous members of the Speedwagon Foundation, have given the belt to us, and we're at a very unique time. Lashada, what was the last you heard of the Afro saying?
He ain't doing that good.
Yeah.
I want to get he can't come up though, so it's such a shame though. So we need to get some new blood, you know. We need to get some fresh meats.
Is it okay to be scared that you have a wrestling federation that has a clause about what happens to your champion in case of death?
Well, you see, ever since the Afro Sane won the title, we kind of realized that we're going to have wrestlers dying and dying and dying again. And that goes especially true if they come from the X-Men or anybody from DC. So we might as well take care of it now than later.
You know, it's good being rich because we got all these lawyers to take care of this shit. So, you know, we ain't responsible for nothing. So we just roll on. We just play the game and yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Such a dangerous and yet like minuscule clause that so many wrestlers have not seen, but yet still enter.
What are you talking about, Anthony? What humanitarians? They're concerned about people that they've already bought grave plots for half the people that are going to hold the title in the next 6 years.
True. That title is very prestigious. So the next event is going to be happening in LA, and what's the title of this next event happening?
That will be A Extreme Rules, right? That's I said it right?
Yeah, A Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
We taking it to the biggest. The biggest arena the biggest anime comic arena we got in the U.S. So you know y'all should be there. It's gonna be our biggest event, our biggest venue, and it's gonna be big now.
It's a very almost symbolic return, actually. Anime Los Angeles was very humble, and we owe a lot to the city of Los Angeles. So coming back bigger and better is something that I always hoped we did, and I'm very happy to return to a much grander stage. We had some very humble beginnings, and it's really nice to see that we've moved up so much in the world. You know, like
correct me if I'm wrong. You started out with 6 guinea pigs at ALA. Then you had another 6 at Phantomania. And
right.
How many do you have? Okay, so how many sacrificial lambs do you have now?
We actually need to keep that under wraps. We can't release too much on who's the card.
You know, not everyone actually makes it to Showtime, so it's a very rigorous and dangerous process that we're not going to disclose. So
okay, so more than a Generation X, but less than a corporation.
Right. We are planning to have maybe a side show later. We're thinking about a reality show where we take some hopefuls called Weeb Enough. We're not sure if we're gonna flow through that just yet, but
yeah, we already had a failed one that involved football and somewhere else. So, but extreme cosplay football, but we don't talk about no more. We don't talk about that no more.
Okay. So what are the title belts going up for grabs at Anime Expo?
It will be for the Cosplay Wrestling Federation World Championship title. The tag team titles will not be up for grabs due to the Afro Saiyans' current predicament. But it's okay that we're just focusing on one belt. It allows the wrestlers to keep their eye on only one prize. We're not gonna let them get too greedy.
Okay. Understood.
Which by the way, we have this brand new belt. It's being made just for the CWF, and mainly that's because Lasheda didn't want to take the blood-stained ALA belt back.
That shit was nasty though. Yeah. I don't know. I saw a pic when they say that our new boy got killed. I was like, they had video footage, and I was like, nah.
I think
I heard that he was killed. You filed an insurance claim for the belt, and then it wouldn't go through the dry cleaner, so you threw it away.
Pretty much.
I will say that what happened to Mr. Brondo was unfortunate. However, he had it coming, and from what I heard, when he was fighting the Joesters, he was doing his signature repose, but his back hurt, which is very important because if you remember, he was attacked by Mr. Dangerous shortly after winning.
That is true.
So,
That is true.
so in a way, Mr. Dangerous helped save the world.
Interesting. Interesting.
That's my boy. That's my boy. He the OC. He the OC champion though. He's still my boy. I still love him. He a loser, but I still love him.
You mean the OG champion, right?
OG. Oh yeah, OG. Wait, yeah.
So
One thing I've learned is never correct turn or slang. That's dangerous.
You don't know.
I control the language. Yeah, I
It's-
control everything. I am the strongest woman in America and the world. So y'all should shut up.
It seems that the crowd has enjoyed the matches that have been shown so far, and it's only growing bigger. What exactly do you guys think of that? What exactly do you think of this entire community of people wanting to watch wrestlers savagely beating each other to get one belt for that convention?
Well, that crowd really doesn't like me, so I'm not really going to be commenting on this one.
Yeah, they have a good taste for men from the sound of that. So.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely. Last I saw it, it was a really good showing, and people really enjoyed it. Except for you, Mr. Hickey. Everybody just disliked you.
I think someone threw a brick at my head once.
sounds like you're still recovering from that brick.
For all we know, it could have been a Figma.
No, it was a full concrete block. I gave him a high five.
I thought he was about to say it was a full concrete block. I missed by about half a foot.
True.
Thank you very much. It's times like this that I wonder why I'm here. I really do.
Now, Mr. Cree, as the pretty much majority owner of the federation, what exactly do you see the Wrestling Federation being in the next year or two?
Well, first though, they need to give us some bigger rooms though, because they shove us in these tiny ass closets, and we deserve better. I deserve better. I deserve better.
Yes, because if
'Cause this
there's
is
anything that Miss Decree knows about is getting out of closets.
What that's supposed to mean, dog?
I mean, if you were in a closet, you'd know how to open the door and walk out.
What exactly do you mean, Mr. Hickey? Please explain yourself.
Nothing. Well, it's.
I'm
some
I
watching
light-
think he was trying to say that she knows fine decor, and we're going to end the conversation right there.
Thank you. Yeah.
Mr. Hickey, we run a top quality podcast on this website, and I would like for you to please go to coordinate with this podcast and keep it very dignified, like Mr. Cree here.
Fine. Just fine. Fine. I'm just gonna
Straighten
read
up, boy. Straighten up, dog.
I'm just gonna read Madoka while you guys talk.
As you were saying, Mr. Cree.
Where was I? Oh yeah, event. Yeah, I think this is main event quality right here. I think we deserve the full treatment. Because in other conventions, they have their own. Even the actual pro wrestling, there's pro wrestling shows, and it's actually the main event there. So this is, as we growing as the fandom, people be liking our page on Facebook. We're growing and growing and growing, and we're gonna run out of space. So yeah, we're gonna fill up the Oracle soon, though. So they better watch out. Everybody better watch out.
Interesting. So
Perhaps they'll have to build a new arena in LA after all, just to hold you guys.
Oh yeah, definitely. Can you imagine World Cosplay Federation in a huge arena? Think of taking over not only the LA Convention Center, but think of taking over the LA the stadium next to it, or the basketball courts, as it were. From
That's a lot more bricks coming at me.
we deserve an Olympic budget, though. We deserve it, though. In that Scooby-Doo movie, there a whole city dedicated to that. We deserve more than that shit.
Yeah, someone tells me Afro Sam will not enjoy the bobsledding competition.
Sounds good. Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans as far as like how they've enjoyed your wrestling shows, and what can you tell them to as an enticement to come to the next one?
Hi. Okay,
There
so
will be blood.
more specifically, that we are very grateful for the gratitude and somewhat kindness that you've shown us throughout this year, and we would really be honored to entertain you one more time at Anime Expo.
And where is the event being located at?
That will be 9:30 p.m. Saturday night at LP3. It's going to be very rambunctious, and I will make sure that we have a very smooth running show.
I see.
I I hope. I really hope.
At
Oh my
Anime
god.
Expo, remember that too.
Oh god, there's going to be so many people. Oh my god. There's a lot of people. Oh my god.
Okay, can we
Come
get
on
Mr.
now.
Hibiki an inhaler? Anybody?
No, it'll straighten up. He faints for a second, and
Mm-hmm.
if you see him dead on the floor, just keep him there for a couple hours. He'll come back up. Kind of, you can wake him up by putting this weird boobed figure right next to him. He'll take notice of that.
That's my mouse pad. Last time though that let Mr. Cree let me pass out at an anime convention, I woke up with a copy of Boku no Pico in one hand and a 5-year subscription of Crunchyroll in the other.
Mr. Hickey,
Wow.
must I remind you about the quality of this podcast?
No, this is the facts. It's just I'm not trying to slander her. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, oh god.
I will allow it.
Dog, you're
Mind
nasty.
you,
though.
my need for sterilization and possibly some disinfectant later, please.
I will allow it for now, Mr. Hickey, because this is the end of our interview. But thank you both for joining us for tonight. We are looking forward to attending the next Cosplay World Federation event. And we thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Cree.
It's been a pleasure, Jimmy Fallon.
And thank you, Mr. Hickey.
I was worried you almost forgot my name, but thank you. It's been an honor being here.
And with that, we'll be right back. Hello, everyone. This is Anthony Bionis from the Mission Start Podcast. And if you enjoy listening to this podcast, as well as our other ones on our website, you can now hear us on Stitcher. You can now hear our shows while on the go with Stitcher Smart Radio, on-demand news, talk, and more on your mobile phone. The latest episodes always available for you, no syncing needed, and no money or storage wasted. Available on your iPhone, iPad, Android phones, and beyond. Downloading is easy. Go to Stitcher.com or check out your app store. Stitcher, Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio. And we are back. We had a very, very interesting interview a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm still trying to wipe up drool off the floor, man. What the hell was all that?
That guy in the glasses where you interview, he's an asshole.
Yeah, he really is. He really is. I have to say that
Not an asshole, but he is bite-sized. I will say that.
Yeah, I have to say that Mr. Kreese is pretty hot. Yeah,
I know. I don't know. She be hitting hard, though.
Yeah.
I want to get some of that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
And I don't even like
backhand.
Oops, I think we're getting a little sidetracked here. Sorry.
That's all right. So with us tonight, in this second portion of the podcast, we have G. You know, it's funny. Always known you as G. I forgot your name from time to time.
That's cool. Just call me G.
Gee.
And then also tonight we have Kevin. Who are both the guys in charge of the Cosplay Wrestling Federation events that have been happening for the past 2 conferences. Yeah, past year. Yeah. Anyways, they're with can I talk tonight? They're with us tonight to talk about their next event that's happening at Anime Expo. Which, wow, it's also a follow-up podcast to what was last time. And guys, here's a funny thing. Okay, so I said this in the prior podcast talking to you guys as far as like this could be on the edge of something big. I'm not saying it's like huge now. I don't wanna jinx it, but at the same time it's like there was a big enough following where you kind of have to look back and like, wow, this is only after 2 conventions. Like this is some starting to become pretty cool. So what do you guys like think like just like overall like how the growth of the event's been happening?
Uh, I'm I'm actually really surprised because, like I said before, this has got to be one of the stupidest ideas on paper. And like, I am not ashamed to admit that it's silly and dumb. And I think that's one of the reasons why that we keep coming back, because we are not afraid to be silly and dumb, but we play it with such a straight face and such level of honesty to the
Especially,
subject.
yeah, because especially with the big number one question we have with this panel, where's the wrestling?
Well, I can say this as a wrestling fan. I'm sitting here watching Money in the Bank as we speak. Wrestling is inherently stupid and dumb, so I don't think you guys are far off base.
Wrestling is inherently stupid and dumb, but we love it for so many reasons.
So that's
And
why I like it. It is stupid and dumb. It's a male soap opera, for crying out loud.
you know,
That
soap
is
opera.
true. That's true.
And like the one thing that Kevin and I always make sure,
Damn it.
huh?
Sorry,
What?
John Cena just plucked the bells.
Oh, boo, Cena.
Yeah.
The one thing that Kevin and I always want to do above all else, besides make an entertaining show, is that we sell the image of this being a wrestling show. We immerse the crowd in the event so well that they forget that they're at an anime con. They are at a wrestling show. And we have been able to keep that image alive for so long. And it's because of that the crowd keeps wanting to come back, but it's very surreal because none of us ever even done. I've only seen one wrestling show live this month. So
And that was my second.
Yeah.
Which I saw with him too.
Yeah.
and with that, with our limited exposure to the wrestling subculture, I mean the actual producing side of wrestling, for us to pull this off it's surprise. We surprise ourselves time and time again, and that's not to sound like oh my god we're so good we can't believe it. No, we're literally we are just as shocked as the audience half the time.
I think also like kind of like the pictures y'all took from our ALA show when we were literally just marking out, like y'all could see like the you could see the look on our faces like, oh my god. We were marking out with them, but now we control our faces and stuff.
Yeah,
like
now we
that.
can control our faces, but we had no idea this could, like, not only that this would work, but people would want to watch it. Because no other show, there's no other fake wrestling show.
That is true. That is true. Before we continue and get a little ahead of ourselves, for people who don't know what the Cosplay Wrestling Federation panels are, can you briefly describe what the panel's all about?
Okay, I've actually been practicing this answer. At the very heart of it, the Cosplay Wrestling Federation is an improv trash talking show, but it's flavored as a pro wrestling show where contestants enter as wrestlers and they give off a pro wrestling personality while at the same time playing to their character as they try to hype up or put down the crowd to be the best. And they go up against other people, but it's not like a trash talking yo mama fight. Everything is done in the style of promos. And with Kevin and I, we play certain characters. The owner of the Cosplay Wrestling Federation, Lashada Decree, and I play Mr. Hiki. We do our best to just facilitate the show so that there is some semblance of order.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. And it's been a very entertaining 2 events. For the panels we both attended, the MSR podcast covered. It's definitely an original idea that nobody, as far as I know, nobody as far as like convention wise are doing or even thinking of the idea.
Well, that's not to say that there's no convention that has pro wrestling style events.
mhm.
Florida SuperCon has an amazing wrestling show. Oh my God, it's so good. And I think Ohio has a horrible wrestling show. Oh my God.
I was gotta bring them up, dog.
I'm gonna bring them up, and if I get any heat from it, okay, then just get better wrestling. I'm sorry. No,
They're
no,
2.5 miles away
you know
anyway.
what?
So.
I should apologize. You should apologize to me.
Shots
You should
fired.
apologize to me with all that bad wrestling. But Florida is great. They had this one they had a Power Rangers match, and they had one with like Captain America and the Punisher versus Sandman and Black Adam, and it was so good. The spots were so good, and everybody was in character. Like Punisher throws water at the Sandman, and he's like, ah! It's reminiscent of Chikara when that one wrestler throws the sprinkles on the ring, and they treat him like thumbtacks,
Nice.
and I love
Yeah.
Shout out to Anime North too. They got a good wrestling show there.
Anime North puts up good stuff too.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely there's been a good amount of crowd. I think the one thing that surprised me when I went to the Fanime one was people came in like with like wrestling signs that you would see in the crowd, and they actually brought them in the panel along with the usual chants that everybody's accustomed to, the yes chant, the the you suck chant and everything else. I was like, oh, this really does feel like a wrestling.
Well,
Yeah.
well, wait. I have a side question on that actually. How did they know which characters to come to bring signs, or did they just bring something more generic than that?
I think some had generic signs. Others, like someone brought by the law of decree, like they made a sign just for Lashada.
Yeah, that was one of my friends. Like she asked, like, how do you spell your name? So I gave it to her, and she really wanted to help out, this bring that wrestling show feel. So
The funny part was we never even anticipated chance. Really, when we were the show in our minds would just the only time the crowd they would cheer and they would boo at certain times. We never thought it would escalate to the level of actual chants. So in ALA, when we got the "This is awesome" chant and the "asshole" chant, that just really drove it home that we are a wrestling show.
They earned that for real. Like
Yeah.
we didn't plant anyone in the audience just to do anything just like that, but they really acted on their own. They really wanted to make this like feel that wrestling thing,
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. The next event's gonna be happening for you guys would be Anime Expo, and that is called the crap. What's it called? I forgot what the name was.
Extreme Rules.
Which hopefully will not be our last event. We have a few other events planned out. You think we could actually say where we want to submit?
I'm about to submit that like within the next hour.
Wow.
So
Okay.
we'll get that through.
Can I say where we're
Sure.
planning to
Of
submit?
course. Yeah, go
We're
on.
planning to submit 2 other cons. These will definitely be smaller scale shows, not part of the main CWF storyline, which makes it one of the most surreal lines for me. The CWF story, because we never really wanted to have an ongoing plot just for ease of purpose. But we are going to submit for SAC Anime. The working title is SAC Anime SummerSlam, and this is it's the CWF version of NXT, the smaller
Okay.
show, where if you want to try out a new character or you want to try something out and a little bit afraid to go to the big leagues because CWF is really intimidating, you could come to the SummerSlam show, try out your character. There'll be a brand new champion. It's a lot lower scale. It's only going to be 1 hour. We're not going to push it too hard in terms of like hyping. We'll let people know, but outside of maybe hopefully getting some video footage, it's going to be self-contained. We also want to do something with YaoiCon, hopefully with their Bishonens for CWF YaoiCon One Night Stand,
Nice.
which is going to be another separate storyline. YaoiCon has a gigantic roster of male performers that will not hesitate to try to please the crowd, and it'll be great if we could get them. If not,
Whoa. This sounds like too extreme of a show, sir.
Well,
Well, that's why it's 18 plus, and it's great. So now everything it's going to be the most sexually charged show.
We'll
It's
talk
like
about
if Val Venus was in charge of booking.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Awesome.
But again, we're only planning to submit them. These plans are not set in stone until we actually get an okay. We'd love to do them, but we're at the mercy of the convention programming.
Of course.
Definitely, definitely. Um, so this next event happening in Anime Expo. Now there's already been some rumblings as far as like how how much of a crowd is going to be brought in. Like, do you expect a certain amount to show up, or what's your expectations for Anime Expo?
Oh God.
Hmm.
Survival.
For AX. Um, Funny thing is we're going against the Masquerade, but you have to pay money to get in there.
That's true. That's true.
Mhm.
Yeah, you guys may be the perkier alternative.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. I mean,
Mhm.
I will say though, like last time I was at Anime Expo, I went to this other event that was just as packed, and it was just as fun. Not being at the masquerade, so there's definitely going to be a ton of people, regardless of what people are going to be at the masquerade or not.
Mhm.
I do believe that yes, we're up against the Masquerade, but it's not as big of a problem as one would think because I don't think the people who will go to the Masquerade and enjoy that will be the same type of crowd that would appreciate a really rowdy, rambunctious pro wrestling style show. I don't think the crossover is there. Maybe we'll lose a few people who they are curious about the show, but they're more concerned about the Masquerade or if they have friends in the Masquerade.
Mhm.
Not to mention Last Comic Standing, which is AX's one of their premier events now, started off paired up against the Masquerade.
Yeah. The first time I went to Last Comic Con was in '09, and that was like straight up like
Yeah,
against the Masquerade. Yeah.
someone tells me certain fans would not be treated well if all of a sudden they start yelling from the front row, "The stitching on your costume stinks."
That's true. That's true.
It'll be great. I'm planning to like go on stage and I'd be like, "Can someone give me a sewing machine?" And then like 50 of them just fly in the stage and hit me.
um, but yeah, I'm like, it's gonna be cool. I do feel like AX might be. I mean, and I think AX probably be if the biggest test, but also be I think the breakout for this panel for this event. I mean, this event's been doing pretty well for the past two conventions, and the third one of Anime Expo I think will be a real test as far as like how many people are interested, like how well does the panel go and all that stuff. Um, but yeah, I do. But I do believe that your panel would be great. Though I think it's gonna be a good show, and I think it's gonna be another fun time to be held. um, so as you guys said before, you guys are thinking about other conventions you're planning to go to. As far as what other things you want to add to the show are on the back burner, what exactly is that for you guys?
Um, it's a lot of small things. Really, what we just want is just more awareness of the show. And I'm not talking about from an audience perspective, but I always want more we always want more wrestlers. We can never have too many wrestlers. And that's because I want people who watch this and do this and who are interested to really go out and try it. Because I was sitting down and I realized that where this show succeeds and what makes the show different as opposed to like the other pro wrestling shows in SuperCon and Ohio, if you could call that a show, and is that anyone can enter. I think if we look at childhood dreams, being a pro wrestler is definitely one of them. You've done it before. When you were a kid, you probably grabbed a stuffed animal or your pillow and elbow dropped it or body slammed it, or you backyard wrestled with your friends trying to do camel clutches and Boston crabs and realized that
What?
they hurt.
Of course not. That's what I have a small sibling for.
And because of the fact there is no wrestling, you're allowed to get all the glory of a pro wrestler without any of the bumps. And I want to make sure that we're around and more people get to, realize. I don't want to say realize that dream because it sounds like we're American Idol or something bullshit like that. But it's
We're
definitely
getting there.
it's definitely an experience that you're not gonna find in too many places outside of actually signing up. We're not APW, which by the way, oh my God, those guys are a great act. We watched their show. Great wrestlers, great show overall, and that's my plug to APW. They're amazing. Um, I just want more wrestlers, so more people can experience what others have. As for plans down the road, it's a lot of little things, mainly tweaks to the formula, making it a lot easier for people to audition, help, slight changes to our characters to just because we might need to keep things fresh down the road and just stuff like that. So we're not really adding stuff like a sequel. We're just making everything tighter and more efficient.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, I think that the ways you're keeping the panel in order and the ways that the ideas and future goals you have for this panel is all great. And personally, I like to see it, go far and see, as far as it can be for a panel or for an event
Yeah, that
for
a
people.
panel that can only be held in the state of California for now.
Yeah. um, but yeah, I mean, like I again, like I think it's one of the type of these. I think it's one of those type of events and panels that I don't think I have not seen in a long time, or something that's like a very original as of late. And right now, wrestling is at its high peak. Like right now, like everybody is on that wrestling fandom right now and really enjoying watching it. So doing this is a perfect timing for you guys as well as having them at these conventions for sure.
And that's another thing. I do think wrestling is at its peak, but more so not necessarily to WWE. I think thanks to YouTube and the internet, the indie scene is getting a lot more attention now than before. So wrestling is definitely being brought to the awareness of people who've dropped off a long time ago, myself included. And I think that's really cool that we got our announcer for Fanime.
Yeah,
Who's the announcer?
Uh,
Oh,
um,
that's
yeah, Fanime, we had Donovan Troy, who's one of the golden voices of the NorCal wrestling scene. He's the official announcer and commentator for All Pro Wrestling. He does Fighting Spirit, like pretty much any indie wrestling show in Northern California, he's the announcer. And we were blessed that he donated his time to help us out. And it just added that level of credence. And so Donovan, if you're listening, this guy was amazing to work with, an absolute professional. More than happy to have him again. And of course, that's not to knock Durlath, who's going to be our upcoming announcer at AX.
nice.
He was the announcer at ALA, and he's amazing too. And just the fact that we have two ring announcers is really freaking cool because they do it a lot better than Kevin or I.
Definitely, that's really cool. It's really awesome. And it definitely adds to the atmosphere that you would get at a wrestling match or at a wrestling event. Um, that's really cool. It's great to hear that. Um, as far as like I guess final thoughts on the whole event because like it's funny because like it started out as something kind of small, but now it's kind of growing bigger and bigger. Like what's your final thoughts on as far as like what it is now and what you can possibly hope to be in the future?
I think you could go first on that one, Kevin. I've
Mhm.
been talking a lot.
Oh yeah, true. Um, well, how far can this go? Like, um, after this year, like once we got our entire tour done and set, I kind of want to see, if we can cross state lines, like if we can, um, just keep growing our community where we're nearing 300 likes on Facebook. So and it's keep growing. day by day by day. So more people. So this is going through a lot of gossip. People are talking about this, talking about this, talking about this, and just expand and make this real and big. I didn't think before, this all just started in a conversation at a Chinese restaurant. So just seeing this,
Yeah, it was a joke.
grow.
It
Yeah,
started off as a joke. It was a literal joke. Like, wouldn't it be funny if we did this? Like, let's go ahead and do it. Ha ha ha. Oh my god.
in LA happened, and oh my god.
And that's just because the intensity of the crowd, the talent of our wrestlers just elevated it made it more than a joke. It was like the trailer Machete, where it was a joke and then it actually became a real thing.
Yeah, wow. It definitely is become something, I think, that, like I said, it's very original. And we'll have to wait and see how this panel goes. But thank you guys for joining us tonight for kind of as a follow-up podcast about the event.
It's great to be back, you guys. You've been treating us so well this half year. So we love the publicity you're giving us.
Oh,
For real now.
no, not a problem. Not a problem at all. So G, where can they find you on the internet?
Me? Oh, we're gonna do this question again? God damn it! I wasn't prepared the first time you asked me.
Well, the internet fans, we're stalkers, all of us.
Yes.
I don't really have a main base of operations outside of my personal Facebook. I mean, you could find me on.
Make a like page.
No, I am not making a like page. I am not.
You need to copyright the letter
like a
G.
threat.
No, I feel like that I haven't contributed enough as a cosplayer to warrant a like page, and that seems even more egotistical, like even for me. But if you wanted to find me, the best places you could find me on my ACP profile. It's G-Force. Yes, like that movie with the gerbils. Ha ha ha. All right, I'm pretty.
I love that movie.
Fuck you.
There's anger in this one.
There's also my YouTube page, GeForce4, no hyphen there. You can see a lot of my stupid videos that I upload there, a lot of voice acting stuff. But that's it for me. I think Kevin has a lot more to share because he recently got his cosplay card ready.
Somewhat. I just printed some business cards and just posted like a yaoi pic on it just for, just to look cute. But if let's see, if y'all want to find me, I actually have a portal where y'all can find like every single site I'm at. So like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and y'all know it's I go by Decree on the internet. It's spelled DAKREE. So my portal's Decree dot flavors dot me, and y'all can see decree.flavors.me.
Okay.
Flavor me.
Awesome. Jeremy, where can I find you on the internet?
We do a weekly comic book based podcast, the Rollin' 20s, which can be found usually every week on iTunes and on Stitcher, if not on the Mission Star podcast site. I'm also doing convention reporting for the site, so occasionally you'll see writing. Odds are at the Anime Expo, you'll probably see me more than once. Just look for the big, frowning bald man who's walking around muttering to himself with a large camera. And actually, the Rolling 20s, 3 out of 4 of us are also going to be at San Diego Comic-Con in 4 weeks. Holy shit, I have a lot to do in the next month.
Yeah, tell me.
We are going to be not just in San Diego Comic-Con that weekend, we're also going to be at GamersCon. We're going to be at a special dinner and party regarding the cast of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We're going to be at Hollywood Babylon. We are going to be at the San Diego Symphony Orchestra, checking out Star Trek with symphony backing and video games live. I may have to clone myself soon if I keep talking.
God damn, y'all working.
Yep.
That's just my schedule. That's not covering the other.
Yeah, as Jeremy said, we are gonna be pretty busy for this entire month. You can find me. Oh, was there anything else you need to throw out there, Jeremy, before I do my spiel?
I'm married, so hands off.
Damn.
Gotcha. um, so as for me, you can follow me personally on Twitter at Naruto. You can follow the work that me and Jeremy do alongside with this podcast on our website at missionstartpodcast.com. As Jeremy stated before, we're gonna be pretty busy for this entire month. We're gonna be at Anime Expo in full force. We're gonna be there taking coverage and doing all sorts of cool shit. And then I'm also gonna be covering Evo in Las Vegas the week after. So I'll be expecting coverage from there as well. Yeah, and it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be pretty busy month for us for convention coverage. Um,
Kidding, brother.
yeah, definitely. But anyways, with that, I think we'll see you guys next time.